Toxic Flora are poems that I was writing using the science section, mostly the science section of the New York Times, as triggers, just to kind of keep generating things. When I finished Toxic Flora, I thought, okay, enough science already. And then, of course, when you say something like that, you kind of stop writing, or almost stop writing. So I gave myself a bunch of exercises, and this time one article and just a whole bunch of poems. And also I gave myself like little formal things that I had to do. And I ended up liking the poems. So in Brain Fever, there are a bunch of sequences, many of them having to do with cognitive science, which I knew nothing about, and I still know nothing about. This is, I'm going to read a few from the section on consciousness. Alarm. Before doctors learn how it is that the brain's lights turn on, they may have to know a lot more about what's happening when the lights are off. Benedict Carey. In her dark, she surveys empty, the vanity from the in-laws' Bronx apartment, the brooch from a lover, loafers by a coat tree, trench coat, the husband's profile, an alarm for news and forecast. Here she appraises fidelity before the light violates. The Japanese aesthetics come in because I love to use words as kind of portals. So to take a word like brooch and really make it work hard, or vanity. So that's what I try and do. Japanese use double meanings, triple meanings, because it's very language poor. So, for example, the sound shi, S-H-I, means poetry, the number 4, and death. So you can really do a lot with that. And I try to do what I can. Figure. Here is the interior without sense. No grizzled dog woofing in sleep. No hissing from a radiator or words from next door. Or, yes, murmurs through the wall, abruptly concrete. What makes the birthing room pronounced? Forfeiting grays from mother's pulse to wattage. The infant faces such passage before figuring out significance. I also have a sequence spurred on by dream theory. The dream of a little occupied Japan doll. Among the 100 porcelain figurines, the first one with slanted eyes, fat cheeks, Q, though that's Chinese, and Chinese bonnet is my favorite. Among all those in pajamas, or gowns, or the 2 in kimono, the first is my favorite. Of those with rickshaw, tambourine, or parasol and fan, I keep on my desk the first one, though she or he is not doing a darn thing. Here in sleep, rivalry is reserved, and as dreams tune the mind for conscious awareness, perhaps this favoritism suggests I've quit hoarding and now collect myself. The dream of a pillow. Zealous mother or breast? Zealous marshmallow, zealous feathers. Although the neuroscientist does not declare, so what? She does believe the brain observes prop and scene in a lucid watchfulness, which may play out in proverb or verse or be utterly meaningless. Zealous codeine, zealous noose. I also have a bunch of poems I wrote after reading an article on, like, the brain on love. Oh wait, no, this is a different one. Sorry. Yeah, never mind that one. The teenage brain, which is like mush and really scary. And what I decided to do, my little assignment for myself, was to take quotes from the article and make those quotes the titles, but I redacted them, I erased them. So this poem is titled Dopamine. I'm crossing the street, there's a doggy approaching me, and oh, look at the cute doggy. I got that wrong. It's the title. Dopamine. I'm crossing the street, there's a truck approaching me, and oh, look at the cute doggy. Very, very different. Footfall as she nears her vestibule. Hurricane, tsunami, earthquake, wildfire, volcanic eruption, mudslide. Girl clicks in the corridor. A muscle car and his cheatin' heart. Oh, a poodle. Mark Twain kept a barrel and fed the bunghole. The husband got himself over one, and since language evolves, unlike a man's furtive activities, there was email trash, bathroom trash, she trash, which is to say, bung trash. Tense? In a baby, wiring allows wiring. From a lumpy pullout in our front room that faced car alarms, hookers calling up to the neighbor to buzz me in, baby, dawn-breaking garbage trucks, and a boombox in that busted-up park, I also knew a thumping in the far room, our infant on her back in the crib, banging her feet on her mattress, realizing just who jiggled the zebras circling above her face, a beatific light bulb. This one I thought was funny when I wrote it, but I don't think it might not be so funny anymore. But anyway, the title is Frank. In the Middle Ages, Dr. Roy Gulick said, corpses of people who died of plague were used as biological weapons by catapulting them into walled cities. This infected townspeople and catapulters alike, though it's unclear whether the disease spread by bodily secretions or fleas. Why Frank from Valhalla, New York, would ask a news blogger if one could contract plague from a corpse, I can only imagine. I came to erasures a little late and absolutely crazy about them. And this is entitled Erasing Host Manipulation. Not all kill their hosts. Think of the morgue. Providing room and board, it often reduces freedom. Some migrate to their host's brain, distressing to those committed to autonomy, but the invaders ask, who benefits when people sleep when tired, scratch an itch, or write a poem? Buddhists note, I don't know about the pineapple or the yellow, but absorbent and porous are we. And I'll end with this. Cherry stems. I'm not too happy that fruit flies have brains, since I swat them whenever I see them or think I see them. I know about their brains because I met a scientist who tinkers with their learning circuitry, the actual mechanics of how a memory trace is laid down in a nerve cell or neuron. All this proxy, dissecting the behavior of an insect to figure out how the brain works, for something like typing, at which my mother was a pro, and me fairly miserable because of some disorder, which it seems my daughter has inherited, since she also exhibits left-right confusion. However, she can twist a cherry stem into a bow with her tongue, an ability no doubt from an ancestral brain, but which also reveals something about a summer in Florence. In other words, too much information regarding memory trace. Thank you.